This video was made possible by the EA Creator Network. Hi everyone, and welcome back to a brand new speed build. Today I have a dark Mourningvale home for you guys, and I am so excited to share this because this is my second build with the kind of new expansion pack, The Sims 4 Life and Death. And I'm saying kind of new because we have had it for a month now. And this video was supposed to be out 2 weeks ago, and then it was supposed to be out last week, and now here it is. I'm gonna get into it later, but I've been super busy with stuff, like busier than I ever thought I would be. So I just have not had the time, honestly, to be able to record this and to finish editing and, you know, doing all of that. But I hope you guys are okay with getting this right now. So even though it is like a month late, it's better late than never, I guess. But this will be my last video with this pack, and then we'll go back to regularly scheduled builds next week, hopefully, at least, if I'm not too busy again. Which honestly I might be. Again, I'm gonna talk about it later, but I don't know how my uploads are gonna be, but hopefully I'm still gonna be able to like upload weekly. But yeah, anyways, like I said before, this one is called a dark Mourningvale home. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just decided on that name because I've been going back and forth about the name for this house for such a long time. The file I have it as is Mourningvale Haunted House, because it is a haunted house technically. If you download this from the gallery, by the way, my gallery ID is Sincere4 and the tray files will be linked down below. But if you decide to download this from the gallery, it will be set as a haunted house because I really want that for my save file and I feel like it would be a fun idea. But then as I was like editing and stuff like that, I realized that it might not look as haunted as you might think it's supposed to be if it's called a haunted house, because it doesn't look as haunted, if that makes sense. So I don't know. But I decided to call it a dark Mourningvale home instead. By the way, if you don't know what Mourningvale is, it is this part of the new world, new part of Ravenwood, which I still love that name. Someone said in the comments last week that they were disappointed by the name because it's been used in other games before, and I do 100% understand that, but I also do think that it's a pretty common name. Like Ravenwood, I don't know why that seems like a common name, but I do understand where they're coming from as well. But for me, I love the name, and I will for always love the name. But Mourningvale is this type or this part of this world, and I love this part of the world. It's really fun. It's very like dark and gloomy, and it has this kind of like blue hue to it, and it's, I don't know, it reminds me a lot of Forgotten Hollow, which I say is weird then that I like it because I have not famously, what are we saying? But like if you've been here before, you will know that I've only ever built in Forgotten Hollow once on the channel, twice in real life, or twice not in real life. What am I saying? Not like I built her twice, but one of them you haven't seen because I haven't posted it, but I have built in that world twice. So it's weird that I like this world, but it is really cute. Not cute, it's cool. And I really do like it, and so I wanted to build here because the last video I posted also obviously had to do with this new pack, and that was built in another part of this town, and it's more of a like quote unquote like regular house, but this entire like pack focuses on like the life and death, and I really wanted to focus more on the death part and make something that is kind of darker. So again, this is a haunted house, but it's not, again, as haunted as you might think. I have built a haunted house before, which I will link in the corner. That was like 3 years ago, I think, or something like that. It's been a hot minute since I built that. It was a collab with the absolutely amazing Retro Sims. I love him to death, honestly. He's one of my like friends as well, and he's super cool. I love him. But we made that house together, and with that one, when I did the interior for that house, I like used the tool mod like crazy. Like I turned things upside down. There was like knives in the air, there were like books in the air, that you know, like it was truly haunted. And this does not have that vibe. This is more just like a dark house, and it has some like cobwebs and stuff like that inside of it, and has some cracks in the walls and whatever, because I wanted to like kind of show that no one maybe lives here, or like if they do, they're ghosts, because for my save file I'm gonna have a ghost family living here, because if I'm not mistaken, we can now like actually make ghost and cast, which is really cool. At least if I'm not mistaken, I think we can, right I think we can. But anyways, for my safe, that's gonna be the case, or at least I think so. So I wanted to show that like they don't care if there's like cobwebs or whatever, they're ghosts. But yeah, so again, this is not maybe like a typical haunted house, but I really like it. And I was kind of struggling at first to like what I was gonna like what how this structure was gonna look in this part of the world because I wasn't 100% sure. But then I found this picture on Pinterest, and I will plop it up on here on the screen, and you can see that I definitely took inspiration from it. Like the front of it, the house looks pretty much identical to it because I just loved the way that it looked. I did make some minor changes, but it's very close to that. And from what I understand from Pinterest, it's the Adams house, which I don't know if that's true or not. So fact check me if that's wrong. I have obviously watched Wednesday, like the Netflix series. I love that show. But I've never actually watched anything else with like the Adams family because that's not something that like is a thing in my family. And I feel like I was gonna say I feel like that's like a family thing that you get introduced to, but I don't know if that's true, but like I was never introduced to it. Obviously I know who they are, and like I know like the names and the backgrounds and stuff like that, but I don't know if this is like an actual Adams house or if it was just that what it was called on Pinterest. But then I found other picture that also like that was of this house, that also said that, so I'm confused. I also do think that this is supposed to be the back of that house, and then because I found some other pictures that was like the front, but I just took inspiration for like the back, what is supposed to be the back, but what is the front for this house, if that makes any sense. But yeah, and I really liked it. I like how weird it is because I would never think to build a structure like this. Like it has this like sunroom in the front, which is really weird. It has this weird like diagonal walls. It's a weird house, but I really like it, and I really hope you guys like it too. I feel like it's not close to anything I've ever built, and I had so much fun with this house because, again, it's not something that I ever built. So I was able to like go outside my comfort zone like so much, and it was so much fun. But yeah, so obviously when I was building this, I wanted to use as many things from the new pack as possible. So you will see that the majority of the exterior is from this new pack. Like all the windows are from this new pack. The doors are from this new pack. The wallpaper is from this new pack. The roof is from the new pack. You see like almost anything. The lights are from this new pack. Things that aren't from this new pack, I need to stop saying this new pack. I feel like it's starting to lose meaning. But things that aren't from Life and Death, I guess, I can say are the what are they called? They're not called awnings. You know the rooms that kind of look like they're sticking out from the roof? What are those called again? I have completely lost the word. I know I've said it before in videos, but I just it's out of my mind. I can't remember it. But you know those. The ones I used from the ones I used in this house are from the vampires game pack. I used a lot of vampires in this house, by the way, because vampires just fits this entire vibe, honestly. And then the giant clock that I also used because I don't know, it's just a weird tower in the back, and I decided to put a clock on it because I felt like it fitted. But that clock is from the Get Together expansion pack, and then the flower boxes that I use are from the Werewolves game pack. I also use that a lot in this house. And I use them because they look kind of like run down, and I like how the flowers are a little bit more muted, because if I would have put like flower boxes from, I don't know, like other packs or base game or whatever, they would have looked like fresh flowers, and I didn't want that, so I used those ones, and I really like it. And then all the statues and stuff like that I use on the exterior are from the the vampires game pack as well. Again, I used a lot of vampires. Something that I really wanted to do with this house though was for the windows to use the broken swatches, because if you missed it, I talked about it in last video, I think. Yeah, in the last video I talked about this, but the new windows that we have, they all have a bunch of different swatches, of course, obviously, but they also have different versions of those swatches where like the windows are broken and whatnot. So I used those like sporadically throughout this entire house, and I had so much fun with that, because again, to kind of signalize that this house it's run down, but it's still pretty, which is why I feel like it's more of like haunted house, because normally I would probably use these windows in like a not in a haunted house, well, in a haunted house too, but like in a rundown house. But the furnishing the furnishing, I was gonna say furniture, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna say furnishing, and then it became furnishing, which is really weird. But anyways, the furnishing for this house is kind of like manor-ish. I was also debating on calling this the Mourningvale Manor, but I did call not last week's video, but the last video I posted, I called Ravenwood Manor, so that would have I feel like using Manor twice in a row like that would be a little weird. Maybe that's just me, but anyways, the furnishing is kind of more on the fancier side, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. But so that's why, like, it's not run down. It's like a haunted house. Like, it is, things are broken. There's cobwebs everywhere. There are like cracks in the walls. There's cracks in the roofs, and in the roof and stuff like that. But it's not like run down in that sense. Like, it's not abandoned. Again, I think they're like a ghost family living here, or just like a special family. Maybe it's like the Adams family who lives here. I don't know. But yeah, so that's kind of like the vibe I thought for this. But again, I was really excited to use the broken windows because we have nothing like that in the game, and now we do, and I'm so excited about it. But anyways, moving on and talking about the people that I imagine living here. Again, you can definitely have this as just like a haunted house that people can come and visit, I guess. Sorry if that got weirdly, or if you heard any weird like stomping sounds. That was my neighbor. I am so sorry. But anyways, again, you can definitely have this in your save file and just have it as a haunted house and like come and visit, but it is called a haunted house residential, so you can live here if you want to. And I haven't like 100% decided for my save file, but I think I want to have a ghost family living here. But also I made it so that you can have like like just a regular family living here, but maybe they're into like the occult, and maybe they want to learn more about it or something like that, or maybe they are occult sims, I don't know. But again, so there's a room for 2 parents, 1 teen, and then 2 kids. So the parents' room is very generic. It's like the rest of the house, honestly. It's kind of grand, it's dark. This entire house is like very dark. Which again, I felt like just fitted the vibe. But then the teen's room I had so much fun with, because I was thinking that teen, whether they're dead or alive, I was thinking that they're really into like tarot and kind of like palmistry and like that type of thing. And like, I don't know, just that entire aesthetic, like the Wicca aesthetic, and maybe they're into like that stuff. So I put posters about that all over. I put like tarot cards all over and stuff like that, and it was really fun. And then the kids' room, there ends up being 2 beds in there, so again, you can have 2 kids, and I was imagining that those 2 are just like mischief twins, because I don't know about you, but like twins can be scary sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I for a long time wished that I had a twin. I don't know why, but I wish I had a twin. And I've known several twins, like they're really cool, but the way they're like depicted in like horror films, that's the type of twins I was imagining here. Like, they are scary, and they will, maybe they're not actually scary, but they will like make people think they're scary, if that makes sense. Like, they will pull pranks on everyone, like just standing in a hallway just looking at someone ominously, even though like they're not gonna do any harm to you, but they're gonna make it feel like they are. So I was thinking that those are the kids. So again, maybe they're ghost kids doing that. Can we have ghost kids? Can kids be ghosts? Now that I think of it, I don't actually know, because kids can't die in this game, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. But I think we can have ghost kids. If we can't, well, then you're gonna have to have a live family living here, which also works. But yeah, I really like that idea of those twins just being just pure mischief and kind of weird. But yeah, it was fun doing their room. I did struggle a little bit because there's not a lot of like dark like kids room stuff, but thankfully we did get the Storybook kit, the Storybook Nursery kit right before Life and Death, so I was able to use things from that kit, because that is also has some like darker things. But yeah, anyways, moving on into the interior, I did want to talk a little bit about it before I go on to rants. So like I mentioned before, the entire interior is very kind of like grand and manor-ish, and I just wanted to be a little creepy, but not completely creepy, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like there is still clutter everywhere, but like it might be a little weird clutter. There might be like a skull hanging out, don't worry about it. And there might be some like poisonous bottles hanging out, again, don't worry about it. But yeah, I still want it to be like kind of cluttered, but it is very dark as well because I don't know, I just wanted that to be. I feel like it's very stereotypical, and for a while I was like, no, I'm gonna switch it up, but I'm not gonna make it that dark. But then I did, and I love it. So sue me. Don't actually do that, please. But anyways, so for the kitchen, I didn't actually go with the new counters. I did use them in the last video I did, but I do love the new counters. I just didn't feel like the marble matched this house, so instead I used the counters that we got from the Realm of Magic game pack, I think so. I don't actually know. Also, wait, actually, before I start or continue with interior, I forgot to mention with exterior, the landscaping is mostly things from this pack's live edit menu. I didn't use this pack's live edit menu in last week's build for reasons. I don't actually remember why, but I didn't. But for this house, I did, and they fit so well. Obviously, there's landscaping from this part of the world in the live edit menu, so I was able to use that, and it fits so well, and I love the landscaping. I was honestly dreading it because like doing landscaping for a house that is supposed to be haunted, so like the landscape is supposed to be kind of dead, seems kind of intimidating to me, but in the end I really liked it. But yeah, I wanted to mention that before I continue with the interior because I just realized that I forgot to talk about that. But anyways, moving on into the interior once again. So for the kitchen again, I think the cabinets are from Realm of Magic. I think so. But I really like them. I almost never use them because they have this really weird like pattern on the countertop. Also, sorry, I just realized I've been talking really fast. I am so sorry. I'm like out of breath. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyways, and then in the kitchen there also ends up being a little breakfast nook, and then the kitchen leads into the dining room. In there I used the two like big dining chairs, I guess, are from this new pack, and also the small like dining table that is in like the kind of breakfast nook in the kitchen, that's also from this new pack, and the chairs at that dining table. I love that we have a new small round table. I've wanted that for so long because we don't actually have that many options for like smaller tables in the game, and I'm so happy we do now, like have this like plain simple wooden like round table. It looks so good. But yeah, anyways, so for the dining room again, I didn't really know what to do because the dining room ends up being kind of big, but there ends up being a fireplace in there. I used the new grandfather clock that we got from this packet in there as well, and then just some like random paintings and whatnot. I did also struggle for this house with the plants, like I said before, with the kind of like flower boxes for the exterior. I didn't want the plants to look like too lively. I do use some like regular plants every now and again, but I also use this I don't want to call it a plant, but like it was once maybe a plant, but it's in the decorations category, or like the statue category. But it's this kind of like, I don't know, this vase with like some dead branches sticking out from it, and I use that all over the house because again, it gives off the creepy vibes and I love it. So I use that all over, and I definitely use that in the dining room and in the hallway and in the living room and in the parents' bedroom. Like I use it everywhere. But it came in so handy, honestly. But yeah, otherwise for the dining room, I don't really think I put that much stuff. Honestly, a dining room, you can only put so many things, honestly. But after the dining room, I do the living room, and I love the living room. It's really cool. I posted a picture actually from it on my Twitter, which I didn't, or like X or whatever. I'm gonna say Twitter forever and always because X just seems weird for me to say for some reason. But I posted a picture of like the piano nook in there, which you guys didn't know that it was from this build or that it was from the living room, but I really like the piano nook that I end up making in there. But in there, I didn't actually put a TV because I felt like putting a TV in this house would be weird. And in the office, I do put a computer, but it's the computer that we got from Cottage Living that looks like a typewriter. Because I was thinking that this family or this house, they don't have like modern technology. It's kind of stuck in like the olden times. I don't know. I don't actually know. But yeah, so there does not end up being a TV in there, but I used the new fireplace that we got, which it's this huge fireplace, and I love it. I used it in last week's video as well. Or not last week's video. When I say that, you know what I mean. The last video I posted. I used it in that as well, and I really liked it, but then I covered it up with a TV, like the I don't know, the front part I kind of covered up, like the thing that is above the actual like fireplace itself, I covered up with a TV because it has this like skull on it, but for this house it would make sense to have that skull. So I just let it be for this. And then I used the new couches, and I used some new, what's it called, bookshelves and stuff like that, and I clutter everything up as usual. And yeah, the living room, weirdly enough, did not think that I was gonna think that this house was cozy, but it kind of is. Like, I would kind of like to live here. Like, it does seem kind of like a vibe, although I would need a lot of technology because I have issues, but that's a different issue. But yeah, anyways, and then I do the kind of like sunroom. In there, I didn't really know what to do, but I put a bar in there and like an art easel and a, what's it called, a chess table, so that you can just do whatever you want, I guess. Like, I just, honestly, if you want to turn that room into something else, feel free to. I just put it as kind of like a skill building room because, again, I didn't really know what to do in there. And then there's an office, which I really like. I feel like I did a different layout for that office than I usually do, which I found really nice. Like, I really like it. And then I move upstairs and I do a bathroom or two. All the bathrooms are upstairs, by the way. There are 3 of them. There are 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. And yeah, they're all upstairs, and the bathrooms look basically identical to one another. So as always, I only show you one, but I hope that's okay. Yeah, and then I move on to the parents' bedroom, which I've already told you is very simple. It has its own fireplace. Again, there ends up being 3 fireplaces in this entire house, which is a lot, but I feel like it fits. And then what else is in the parents' bedroom? I don't know. I sized up a base game wardrobe, which you might feel this weird because the drawers might look huge, but I feel like it fits. It was one of the few wardrobes that looks good sized up because I didn't actually think that it would look good sized up. Like, kind of just did it as a joke to like kind of like see, but then I did size it up and it was like, it kind of works. So I do end up using that. But yeah, so if you feel like that's a little weird, don't mind it. All the other like bigger wardrobes that we have looked too modern, if that makes sense, or they weren't tall enough, so I just did that, and I think it's fine. And yeah, and then I do the other 2 bedrooms, which I've already talked about, so that's cool. So some other things I use from this pack that I didn't use in like the other build that I did, because I did talk more about this pack in the other build, but I also used some of the new paintings, which is really cool. I love the new paintings like so much. I didn't use them again that much in the last video because they didn't really fit in there, but we have this new painting that is kind of like a rectangular shape. I don't know how to explain it. It's in the living room and it's above the 2 armchairs, and I do use it throughout the house and like other places as well, in like different swatches. It also ends up being actually above the piano, and just at a different swatch than in front of, or like above the armchairs. But I really like the swatches on that. We have some with like some ravens just flying around. We have one with the Grim Reaper. We have one with that kind of looks like a portal or something, which is really cool. And yeah, we have some like really cool paintings. In general for this house, I did struggle a little bit with the paintings because I wanted some that like look older but that are still big, because, by the way, I think this might be the first time ever that I'm doing this on the channel. I can't say for 100% certainty that this is the case, but the bottom floor for this house is on the tallest wall height. I know. Who is she? I don't know. Not Mel. I think someone took over my body when I was building this. But to be fair, it's all on a platform. Like, they're all on 2 steps up, I think. Because like the front door is on a diagonal, I couldn't put stairs, which was so annoying. I've even tweeted about this like many times before, but I really want diagonal stairs. But obviously we can't have diagonal stairs in this game for some unknown reason. I feel like that wouldn't be too hard to like code or whatever they need to do, right? I don't think it would, but I don't know. But instead I used platforms. So this entire house ends up being on like 2 platforms, which worked out great with the tallest wall height. And the reason this is on the tallest wall height is because I wanted to use this, it's not called a spandrel. You know, the thing that goes around like the base of each floor, like on the exterior, or actually at the top of each floor, I guess. It's not called a spandrel, it's not called a railing, it has a name, but I forget it. But anyways, the one I used is from vampires, and it's huge and it takes up so much space. But so I wanted to use that, but I also wanted to use some of the new windows, and the windows are tall, so it just kind of ended up working out that I used the tall wall height, and then it actually was fine to furnish. Normally this would have been a nightmare, but with this house it wasn't, and I think it's also because I used the new wallpapers from this new pack like throughout the entirety of the interior. I used a few different ones depending on, like, the downstairs have one, and then the different bedrooms have like a different one. But anyways, I used the new wallpapers and they have patterns on them, so I feel like I didn't think that the like walls looked as empty as they would usually if I had just used like my regular wallpaper that is blank most of it. So maybe that's why. But yeah, anyways, I used the tall wall height, and then the second floor is on the medium wall height. Normally, if I ever use anything on the short wall height, I use the medium wall height on the like first floor, and then I go to the short wall height on the second floor. But yeah, I don't know what happened for this build. But yeah, anyways, I did struggle with the paintings. That's how I got here. But yeah, I struggled a little bit with the paintings, but in the end I think it ends up working out. I do reuse paintings all over this house. I'm so sorry for that, but it was the only way to do this. I am so sorry. But yeah, anyways, like I said, the majority of this house, or not the majority, what am I saying? Kind of the goal with this house was to use items that I wasn't able to use in the previous build. So yeah, I hope I kind of accomplished that. Again, I used also the new like curtains, which aren't in the curtain category. If you're searching for them, they are in the what's it called, in the like wall decorations category, which is really weird, but yeah, they're there. But I used those curtains all over, and then I also used other curtains from the Storybook Nursery kit, the ones that are in like the office and stuff like that. Those are from that kit. And then I also was able to use the new like desk that we got, some of the new like chairs that we got, the new 4-poster bed I used in the parents' bedroom, and then I used a different bed, a different kind of like 4-poster bed, which is like one of my favorite beds in the entire game. But it's from Real Magic, and I use it in the teens' bedroom, but I almost never use it because it's so big and it doesn't fit in like most rooms. But anytime I have the opportunity to use it, I will. So I did it in this house, and I'm really happy with it. And then again, I was able to use like the windows that I wasn't able to use last time, and the doors and paintings, and you know, all of that. I try to just use as much as possible, honestly. But yeah, I think that's it for like the build portion. I think. I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to say. If I do, well, darn. You can always ask me in the comments if you want to. Now I'm gonna go on to rambles. I actually have kind of like a funny story with, not funny story, but like I've mentioned before about how like my mom kind of watches my videos sometimes. She hasn't in like a long time, I'm pretty sure, and if she does, she doesn't listen to like the voiceover. She just watches me build, and then she mutes it because she doesn't like hearing people talk when she's watching videos. Ever. She's weird like that. I love you, Mom, but it's weird. I don't understand it, but to each their own. Like, she's the one type of person that just wants music or silence when she's watching a speed build. I want rambles. I want someone talking. That's probably, though, to be fair, because I like grew up on watching Little Simsy, and Little Simsy used to do that all the time, like just ranting about Susan and stuff. If you were there for that, I love you so much. That was my childhood. But anyways. Back to my mom. But because I moved out, if you didn't know, I talked about this in my last video, but I moved out the same week as I posted that last video, and I think she was missing me, so she was watching that video, and then she was really excited about me talking about my move, because I like said previously in the video, I was like, I'm gonna talk about that later, but then I had so much to talk about this new like pack that I only had like 5 minutes to ramble. And my mom then, when I met her, I think it was like the week after or like the week after that, I met her, like we met up in the city, and she was like, I was so disappointed. I wanted to hear about you moving. I wanted to hear your rambles. And I was like, Mom, you usually hate that, but I think she misses me. So Mom, if you're listening to this, I love you. It's a little weird, but I love you. To be fair, I've talked about before how I don't like people in my real life like watching my videos, or even my boyfriend watching my videos. Like, I don't mind it. Like, thank you for supporting me. It's just weird, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's really weird. But anyways, so yeah, this week, Mom, you get more rambles than just 5 minutes. I can talk more about my move if you want me to. But yeah, what do I have to ramble about? Honestly, a lot. Again, I've been busy. I talked about this in my last video as well, because I thought that moving would mean that I would have more time for videos, because I save like 3 hours a day on commuting, because I live on campus now. But it's kind of done the opposite because I have like two of my best friends living in the dorms too. Like one lives literally across the hall from me, and the other one lives like, I don't know, a few doors down from me. So we all like live in the same area, and we've been spending like all our time together, which is really fun. And I never thought I would do that because it could be really socially draining for me. But with these people, it's just not socially draining, and that happens very, very like scarcely. Is that even a word? It doesn't happen that often is what I'm trying to say. Like it has happened with like my main friend group. Like they are not socially draining. Well, some of them are. But like my boyfriend isn't socially draining, obviously, and like my closest friends in that friend group aren't socially draining. But usually like in real life human interactions can be more socially draining. But they aren't. So we've just been spending all our time together, and it's been really weird. And they've been getting me to go to parties, which I talked about like in a few videos ago, like, oh my god, I'm going to a party, like that's weird, probably will never happen again. Yeah, guess what, I'm going to a party like every week now, which is so weird for me, but it's nice because it's like not like huge like frat parties. They're like intimate, like small parties where like, you know, it's just your closest friends, and it's really fun. And then we've just been like chilling, watching movies, just hanging out, just gossiping with each other. Not actually, well, kind of gossiping, I guess. But yeah, it's just been really, really fun, and I love them so much, but I have lost more time than I thought I would. Because like I thought it would be, you know, like, oh, I can just like sit in my room all day, but no. Well, I could, but I don't want to because I'm spending so much time with them. Like, we go into the city to do stuff, we eat together, and we do everything together. That plus school, like it's a lot. So I've just been really, really busy with them, and I'm gonna be busy tomorrow as well, because tomorrow I'm going, like, I'm recording this on Friday, by the way. You're not watching this until Sunday probably. Well, if you're watching this the day it comes out, that is. But anyways, tomorrow on Saturday I have like I'm free until like 4, and then after 4 I'm busy until like Sunday morning, because I am going out with work colleagues at first, like we're going bowling and eating dinner, stuff like that, and then after that I'm going to a friend's house, and then after that we're going out, and it's like it's so weird. I don't know who I've become, but I really like it. Like, college has truly changed me, but into like it's a good thing, I think, because I like the changes, and I'm still like staying true to myself, because I was kind of scared that college was gonna do what it's done for me before, where like I kind of change into a person that I'm kind of not. But now it hasn't, and I am still able to like balance everything. Obviously my videos are maybe a little bit more scarcely posted. Why have I focused on scarcely? That's such a weird word to focus on. Sometimes I do that. Do you guys do that? Sorry, ADHD moment. But like, do you guys do that where like you focus on a word for like, that you say that word in like every sentence, and then you forget about that word entirely for like 2 months, and then it comes back, and then you forget about it for a year, and then it comes back, and then, you know, that the cycle goes. That's scarcely for me today. But anyways, my videos might not be posted as often anymore because, you know, I'm busy doing stuff, but other parts of my life are very balanced still. Like, I still am able to talk with my online friends and like my boyfriend, but I'm also able to have like an IRL, like my IRL friends and stuff like that. And yeah, it's really fun, and I'm super happy. And it's at the same time I'm balancing school out as well, and I am editing. It's just I don't have time to record a voiceover as much as I usually do. So yeah, again, videos might not be posted as often, but I hope that's okay. I think you all understand. I think so. I hope so. But yeah. Anyways, that was me moving. Also, I am in love with my new room. I think I posted like a picture on it on Twitter as well. But I am in love with my new room. Yeah. Anyways, what else do I have to talk about? I don't know. I have no clue. My brain is also kind of fried. I was sick for 2 days this week, and then I got back today to school, and I'm really tired because I didn't sleep well either. So, yeah, I'm kind of just tired, and my brain is fried. To be fair, when is it not when I'm recording? I feel like every single voiceover, I'm going like, I'm tired, I'm sorry. I feel like that's me every single voiceover. It's really something. But yeah, thankfully we're almost done with this one. We only have like a minute left of the voiceover, and then it's screenshots time. I still haven't added the screenshots for this build, which I need to do. Surprisingly though, this video isn't too long. Like, I thought this video was gonna be like an hour long, but it's not. I think it might be because this is built, like, this house is big, but it's only built on a 20 by 20, which I did not expect. I thought it was a 30 by 30, but apparently it's a 20 by 20. So this house is bigger than I would have thought of. To be fair, it does take up the entire lot. There's no like backyard or anything like that, but I didn't think that a house like this would need a backyard, if that makes sense. So yeah, I did struggle with the exterior as it was, and there was like no backyard, so I don't know what I would have done if there was a backyard. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, how are you guys? I hope you're well. I don't know. I don't know what to say. What else is going on in my life? I don't know. Not a lot. Christmas is almost upon us. It's December 1st when you're seeing this. Oh my god. I'm so excited for Christmas and New Year's. I'm so excited. I'm not gonna be home though, and I'm gonna try to pre-record, but I can't promise anything. So if you're not getting anything over that season, I am so sorry. Or over those like few weeks, but I will not be home. I will not be at my PC. So my bad. But I hope you guys understand that. Again, I'm gonna try to pre-record at least a little bit, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're almost done with the video, which is good. But yeah, anyways, that's basically it for this video, and I really hope you liked it, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.